Good to see everybody again. It's been a while, unless I saw you at Big 12 Media Days. A first for me, July 28th, and we just finished practice number 5. So it is upon us, and we are rolling. This is the second full week of fall camp, and so we're in a spell right now. Everybody in the country is with the heat. We're trying to go as early in the morning as we can, getting our work done and trying to keep our kids hydrated and as safe as they can, as we can. So we'll be a heavy day tomorrow, and then we have an off day. And then I think maybe the weather even lessens a little bit, but we've had good work so far. Before we get into questions, let me update you on George Fitzpatrick. Everybody had heard he had a medical incident last week of the summer. He's doing much better. He's back in Manhattan. He's been to the facility a handful of times, and really, guys, it's just a day-by-day basis with George. We don't really have a timetable, but he's doing a lot better. So I don't have a lot of other information that I'm able to share on that, other than he's doing well and back in Manhattan. So let's talk some football.
Another health front, Gunnar Maldonado. How much is he able to do right now? What's your confidence that he gets back to top form?
Yeah, he'll be back. He's cleared for 7-on-7, and today he probably had about 18 plays of 7-on-7. I think we're around August 1st where he's cut loose for everything, so that one's going to happen pretty quickly. I think Ace is the same way. It's around that first week of August. Colby McAllister might be another week. Maybe not. Maybe he's within 8 or 10 days is my guess with Colby. But I think Gunnar and Asa will be pretty good to go here in another 3 or 4 days.
What have been some of the more impressive position groups so far in those 5 days of practice that have you thrilled?
Nobody has me thrilled yet, which is typical that we're 5 days into it and we've had some heat and we've had our third day of pads. I'm excited about some of the new linemen that we brought in, as well as an excitement about a kid like John Pastore that is healthy and playing good football and just needs to probably knock some rust off over a year. We have plenty of tight ends that are doing a nice job. Overall, I think offense will have a good period, then the defense will dominate a period or two. It's just kind of being consistent is what we're looking for, and which is hard in the first 5 days because that's the heaviest installation. So a lot of guys, especially the new guys, are swimming with what we're doing schematically.
In the interest of one of your core values, Coach, how are you guys winning the dang day each day here?
By coming in and getting prepared for practice, and we've kind of changed a few things up with our morning routine to get the guys ready to go, giving them a little bit more time rather than just hustling from meeting to meeting to practice. We're giving them a little bit more time to get their bodies ready for practice, which I know that they have appreciated, so that when we go out there, they are ready to go. They're not sleepy from an hour meeting or something. We've given them a little bit of time there, and then at the end of the day, just getting our recovery and preparing for the next day. And that's the challenge. That's fall camp. That's what everybody has to face, is the fact of you're up here every morning a little after 6 and you're out of here around 9 at night with a lot of activity, a lot of meetings, a lot of walkthroughs, practice. I mean, it's the fall camp grind that all of us know that have been in this profession for a long time, and it's just getting those young guys and the new guys to develop a routine, and that's how they win the dang day. Is they develop a routine. If I'm a young guy on defense, man, I'm with Dez, I'm with Stufflebean, I'm with VJ, I'm with Romaine. I'm trying to figure out how to do things. Same on offense. I'm with TP, I'm with Liney or Hecht. I'm with the guys that have been here for a while, Swanee, that can help me develop a routine.
You got some new guys and young guys, obviously. You got returning guys. How have you witnessed them be able to gel, and what kind of sense of excitement is there right now in the program?
Yeah, there's great excitement. the gelling part is what you're doing in fall camp. That's a daily process. You know, there's some new kids that are making some splash plays and getting noticed that we want to become more consistent. There's the older kids that are consistent all the time because they know what the expectation is, they know what the standard is, they know how we practice, and it's getting those new and young guys up to speed so that they can gain that consistency throughout the day at practice.
I'd love to hear about backup quarterback and how things are going behind Avery and that battle for.
Well, it's been positive in the fact that we didn't practice a whole lot in the spring because of a lot of reasons, but we were only able to do single rep. We're back doing some double rep things, so we've got 2 fields going of something, whether that's team, whether that's 7-on-7. We're getting a lot of reps, and I think we're splitting those reps really between Blake, between Jacob, and between Dylan Duff. And, through 5 days, I see those guys doing some splash things, but who can be the most consistent? That's going to be an ongoing process probably throughout most of fall camp. I don't know if Coach Wells or myself will be ready to name a guy by the end of fall camp or not, because fall camp butts up to a game and game prep. We'll have to figure that out, but it's a good battle. Jacob has been here the longest, probably feels really comfortable in what we're doing. Blake is makes plays. He's got to minimize some mistakes, as do all the quarterbacks. And then Dylan's just kind of learning, but he's getting a chance to get more reps. So the few reps that he got in the spring, he's learned from and continues to improve every day. So all 3 of those guys are going to continue to battle for that 2 spot.
And how quickly, how well is Lincoln getting, with now practice going, up to speed?
Yeah. Well, I think mentally, just like all of our freshmen, you're swimming a little bit because it's a lot of install in a short period of time. Luke Wells tried to get him up to speed as much as he could in the summer, but our summer was a lot shorter than it typically was. So I'm confident that Lincoln throughout fall camp will continue to learn. He's with the biggest veteran group we have in the tight end room, and they all are putting their arm around him and helping him on the mental side of learning what we're doing. You can tell the physical skills are out there. You can tell of a guy that can really run, that can go and catch the football, that can be physical at the point of attack on contact. It's the technique part of it. But Link's, I think he's 240 pounds. So, I mean, he put on some great weight from the end of track season to where we're at now.
Going into fall camp, you had some questions about the depth chart along the offensive
Mm-hmm.
line. You'd sorted out left tackle
Yep.
in the spring, but now you've got that situation. What is your tackle depth like right now?
Well, that's where, and we've talked about this for a while at different times, where John Pastore, getting him back. John was going to probably play 50 snaps a game last year until he got injured in fall camp. And so he's playing left tackle right now. Terrence Enos is playing right tackle. Liney's playing right and left tackle. Gus Hawkins is playing some right tackle. Drake Beckwith's playing left tackle. So we have some guys there that are providing some depth. J.B. Nelson playing guard helps Liney be able to be pushed out to some different spots. But I think the health of Pastore is what has us really excited about when George gets back, and George will be back. But when he gets back, boy, we've got some other guys that all along we're hoping a guy doesn't have to play 65 plays a game, and we can split some of those snaps up. So we're down in general with our depth in the offensive line in totality in numbers, but that goes back to the house settlement and cutting a bunch of guys and not having as many guys come in. That's the reality of it, and that's an area that's taken a hit. But I like the veteran people we have up front right now.
Another position of, I don't want to say wealth, but you've got a lot of depth at defensive end. How's that position shaking out right now?
It's been good. It's allowed those guys to stay fresh. It's allowed those guys. We're cross training a Cody Stuffle being a Chidiobi Izor to play inside if need be. No, it's fun to see those guys and just the rotation that Coach Wyatt has with those guys really good. Plus, we've got to get more out of the Ryan Davises, the Toby Osunsomnis, those type of guys on special teams, and I think we will. In fact, I know we will because they're already a part of a lot of the special team stuff we're doing.
Big question I get: can you sum up the punting kicking situation and where you're at with that?
No, not yet. Give me another week on that. Probably. We're just starting some of the kicking, but punting. Simon McClennan's back for another year, and Simon's a really, really good punter. Tegan Cobb is also doing some kickoff stuff. Will probably give us another week on the field goal PAT part.
Asa Newsom has gotten a few more reps at linebacker. How has his development been, and could we see him in a larger role this season?
Well, it's going to depend on how quickly we can get him back. He's one of the guys we were talking about earlier with his health, of getting him back ready, practicing full speed. Right now, he's limited, as well as a few other guys. But Asa's a really smart guy. Has played on teams. He's played on defense. And when he gets healthy, he'll be up to speed, and we'll see him probably a lot more.
The offense stayed indoors on Thursday while the defense worked outside in the rain. Is that more of a standard part of how you install the process, or is it more about keeping the structure and the weather?
That's their field. This guy's is their field, kind of what it was. If that's when you guys were out there during individual, the defense is outside. Could be rainy, could be 106. That's where their field's at, and the offense is inside. No rhyme or reason. But once that individual period ended, we're all inside and outside. And so it's probably pretty split other than the individual period. It's really split as far as what fields we're using. Everybody was on both fields today. And sometimes, based on the sun, the indoor's cooler than the outside. And if it's sunny out, then maybe the indoor's a little bit better. It just depends. I think we'll get a little bit of a break here towards the end of the week.
You talked about some of the individual guys, but you held a lot of guys out during the spring. Do you anticipate all of them being back for
all
the
those
opening?
guys that were held out, two main guys were Austin Romaine and Des Purnell, two of the best linebackers in the Big 12 for sure. Those guys you can tell when those two kids practice because it's a really fast practice on defense when those two guys are out there because they have tremendous leadership. They know what we're doing. They get guys lined up. They're making the calls. But no, guys like that are all back, which is fun. All those kids that missed the spring.
You feel pretty good about the depth now at linebacker?
Yeah, Rex Van Wy played a lot last year. That continues to come into his own, gets better and better. Gabe Powers came from Ohio State, is in the mix, getting a lot of reps. Bo Palmer's coming back from injury, and he's practicing full go. But Bo's just going to keep getting stronger and stronger with coming back from his injury. So when you add Bo and you add Asa, Zach Wittenberg's played a lot for us on special teams. All those guys are getting more and more reps. We've got a bunch of young linebackers that we recruited this year that are, most of them are true freshmen. I'm going to stay away from the names there until we learn a little bit more about those guys, but there's some really athletic guys there.
In the secondary, you're going to have 4 new starters. How's that starting to shake out?
Well, VJ Payne has played a lot and is a returning starter. Colby McAllister's played an awful lot of football for us. Maybe wouldn't consider it a returning starter. Jack Fabris has played a lot of football for us. Probably not considered a returning starter. Gunnar Maldonado started for 3 years at Arizona. Probably not considered a returning starter for us. Zayshawn Rich, Donovan McIntosh started the Rate Bowl. Didn't play a lot prior to that, but that experience helped him. Justice James has played for 2 years at a high level. So it's not like you got a bunch of guys that have never played this game before. We got a bunch of guys that have played a lot of football, whether it's here or somewhere else. Quay Moss is a kid that came in at semester that is playing really high level right now for us. he and Daniel Cobbs and Kenigel Thomas are helping us out at some nickel positions when we play some third down stuff. We have some depth there. It's just you don't probably have a splash guy right now like Jacob Harris or Marquise Siegel or Rush Yeast or Julius Brents, but we have a lot of talent back there that we're excited because we can rotate some guys there, and that's important to us.
Coach, you've been around the game a long time, and I'm curious your thoughts on Austin Romaine and where he is at in such a short period of time. Has it surprised you, or did you expect him to take that kind of jump?
You know, he got thrust into it. He's the great example to tell every true freshman. Austin Romaine was on the field getting the 2s and 3s reps, and all of a sudden we lose Daniel Green for a period of time, and now he's taking a little bit more of the 2 reps because Bo Palmer's the starter, and then we lose Bo Palmer, and it's week 7 or week 8, and now Austin Romaine's got to come in and play, and played phenomenal for a true freshman. It's similar to a lot of our other true freshmen that get that chance. But then that next year to be able to learn from Daniel Green and be able to learn from Austin Moore, to be able to learn from Des Purnell, he's taken his game to another level. Now he's into his 3rd year, and that's the thing it's crazy. He's a true junior. And I think he's one of the best linebackers that we've had playing the system that we have played, whether it's been here or at other jobs that I've had. This kid's a great leader. He's a great tackler. He's got a great base to him, and he's very athletic. And I'm excited because I think he's going to have an All-American type season.
I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the young receivers too. I think
Yep.
everybody understands Jace and Bradley and Tibbs and that, but behind those guys, has anybody caught your eye in the last few games?
Adonis
days?
Moise has done a really good job. Jamiri Davis has done a really good job. Isaac Cook has been a great special teams player for us and is trying to get in that mix of that 5 or 6 and has done some really good things. Sterling Lockett, we've got to keep pushing Sterling so that we can use Jace outside and inside, and Sterling can play the slot because Sterling's done a good job. We're trying to move more guys around, which sometimes will stunt their growth from a mental standpoint of having to learn multiple positions, but we probably need to do that so that if the 4th best guy is only playing one position and somebody else gets hurt, we got to be able to move him back in or move him to a different position to get the best players on the field. That has helped us there. A guy that jumps out at me that is a skill kid that's playing some wide receiver. He's a running back for us is Devon Rice. Devon Rice splashes right now. Flashes right, man. Fast, explosive kid that was injured some in spring, didn't get a great chance. Had one really good kick return last year against Colorado, but was just trying to find his way. He's an explosive guy that's playing with a lot of confidence, which helps us a bunch to have that other person with Dylan of the same skill set that we could put them both in the backfield or put them both out as wide receiver or in the return game.
I'm going to ask about him, so thanks for putting that out there.
I was doing some looking, and you're going to bring back the same exact defensive coaching staff for a 6th straight year. College coaches love to talk about continuity and the perks of that.
Yep.
How does that manifest itself?
All of them are too old. Nobody will hire them. No. No. No, you know what? We talk about it a lot in recruiting. The fact that that staff has been together since right after the first season we had, and Steve's the only one that hasn't been here the whole time, and he's been here 6 of the years, and I was with Steve for 2 other years. It's helped all of us, and it's helped the players getting to build relationships with the same guys. The other 2 I'd tell you is Matt Cardulis and David Orloff have been with us for a long time too. And now that those analysts can coach and have a position and do some things, it's really allowed me to go into the offensive room and not help, but just pick their brain on defensive things because I know all the things we're doing on defense those guys have been doing for a long time together. It helps us in recruiting. It helps us in retention. It helps us with relationships, meaning the D-line have no problem going to Van Malone when they want to talk to us about something, or any of them going to Klanderman, or any of them going to Buddy. That's just a huge thing. And I know those guys work really well together. They give each other – only reason I say that is because they had said the same thing about me at some point. We just give each other grief, but it's fun. We all get in the cold tub together after practice, and you can't even pull us out of there. We'd sit in there for 30 minutes if we could, because we're like, how the heck are we going to get back up to the office and watch this film before our bodies stiffen up on us again? But it's fun to have those guys around that long.
So you've had 5 practices now, and during the summer you had some activities. You had the program in here. You had some other people talk to them, I'm sure. But now we'll practice here. We're a month out from the first game. Can you kind of put your thumb onto maybe what you perceive what makes this team tick?
We're going to find that out, D. Scott. The big thing that we've hammered on all through the off season is handling adversity. Everybody can handle things when it's, as a program would say, it's not going to be sunny and 70 every day. Everybody can handle it then. How are we going to handle when we get punched in the mouth? Because we're going to get punched in the mouth. We're going to get punched in the mouth at a practice. Offense beats the defense. Defense beats the offense. The weather beats us, whatever it may be. It's how do we handle that adversity? And that's the challenge we put on our guys all the time. It's easy to get all pumped up when we take a drive down and go score in practice, and everybody's doing great. And all of a sudden we go 3 and out, 2 or 3 straight series. Okay, now how do we handle it? How do we respond? That's going to be the tell of our season this year is when things are going good, everybody can lead. Everybody wants to be a leader when things are going good. When things are a struggle, who are the guys that are going to step up and provide that leadership? I believe this year we have a collective group of leaders, not just 4 or 5. In the past, maybe we've had an Austin Moore that was an alpha guy, a Hayden Gillum, a KT, a Noah Johnson, a Cade Warner, a Deuce Green. Now I think we have a collective group of guys that can really lead, and that's the challenge we're going to put on these guys is who can handle it when it gets really hot out there with the adversity.
Dee just mentioned having people come in and talk. By chance, I interviewed Damian McIntosh, and he's here in town to talk to the team.
He just got here last night. I saw him quickly at practice, so he'll be visiting with the guys tonight.
Why do you do that? What's the motive?
I've been doing it for a long time. I think it's really important for our players to see a guy that's had success in whatever realm it is, as well as they were all in those seats at some point, and it was hard for everybody at some point. And I think one of the things of fall camp is there's a part of in your mind, especially when you're a young player, an inexperienced player, a new player that hasn't done it, of there ain't anybody working like we are. Like, we're the only ones in the country doing this. And I think it's a great thing for those guys to come back in and say, man, I was in your shoes as a freshman when I thought I am getting my butt out of here as fast as I can because this is not for me and I can't do this. And all of a sudden, 4 years passed, and you're like, holy cow, where did that time go? And, Taylor Poitier, 7 years has passed. I remember when that kid was sitting in here as a true freshman, and now he's in here in his 7th year, and he's chomping at the bit because this is his last opportunity to play college football. Hopefully he gets a chance to play at the next level, but this is his last go-around here. And I think some of the players that we bring in, and it's getting harder to find guys. It's also July. It's vacation time. It hit on August 10th. It's July of trying to get guys come in here and just say, hey, I've been in your spot before. And I've come from a long ways, as Damian did. Came from a long ways, came to K-State, and it worked out for him. And I believe we do it for the guys that did it before us.
Did Taylor have the gray hair when he came in? Or did you cause that?
No, I didn't cause that. I think he had some of that.
Okay. You mentioned someone earlier who has flashed a little bit in practice. Any other new guys, young guys that are kind of stuck out?
I'd probably miss somebody if I went through it, but not a new guy. Devon Rice is somebody that people would kind of remember a little bit from last year. It's fun to watch him because he's a kid that's, I think, a really good football player that just needed some belief and confidence in himself, and I see that in the kid right now. It's fun to watch.
Has your confidence in the retooled receiver group carried over to the fall?
Still got a lot of work to do, honestly. And it's not just the receiver group. It's getting more from the tight ends. It's getting more from Devon, Dylan, Joe, the running back room as well, to do multiple things. And we can't be a group that can solely rely on our quarterback and running backs. We can't be a group that can solely rely on our wide receivers and quarterback. Man, we got to rely on everybody. And it's going to be one game. Our tight ends are going to have a really good game. The next game, maybe it's the running backs. The third game, maybe it's the wideouts. Okay, that's going to cause adversity. It's going to cause adversity. How are we going to fight through that when it does?
Avery Johnson, we've seen photos of him physically. He's different. Yep. How else is he different?
He's doing a really good job of holding people accountable, holding himself accountable, and never being satisfied. I know we're through practice 5, and I haven't seen the best of Avery yet. And I think he'd tell you the same thing, which I like. He's hungry. I've got to continue to improve. I got to continue to build that relationship with these other 3 wideouts, because there may be the guys that are in the game, or these other tight ends, or these other running backs. He's never satisfied, and I really appreciate that about Avery, because everybody – I shouldn't say that. A lot of people hold him on a pedestal because he's the in-state kid that has stayed home and all that stuff. You bet. My appreciation for Avery is there's so much more in him, and we haven't all seen it yet. He knows there's more in him, and he's not going to be satisfied. I think there's a couple throws he made today that I know he's kicking himself because he wants it back. And blames himself, not the wideout, not the protection. He puts that on himself, sometimes to a fault, sometimes too much. But I'd rather have that where a kid's taking ownership, and that's what he does, and that's why I love the kid, is he takes ownership.
One more mention. How legit is Tibbs?
He's legit. He's big body that goes up and attacks the football, and can do it in short space. And make something after the catch. And then, like, he caught a fade ball against one of our really good corners today, and it was a 50-50 ball, and Avery put it in a spot that maybe either guy could have got it, but he trusted Tibbs, and Tibbs went up and got it. It was a cool thing to see at practice, because it was one of those back of the corner in the end zone, and 2 guys going up for it, and he came down with it. It was fun to watch.